The book of Sirach, chapter 1 and verse 22. A furious man cannot be justified, for the sway of his fury shall be his destruction.
Because you go from one extreme to the other. The sway of your fury will be a destruction. If that man would have took that phone and kept that woman in the car, that could be entrapment. Now he going to jail. But he ain't thinking like that. You see what he said? He just like, oh, well, I just broke the phone. I was angry. I got a temper problem. He didn't even acknowledge his own issue. That's how many brothers are. You be like, yo, bro, you got a bad anger problem. You need to fix that. Well, she did this. And that's what you see in some brothers. What? Going back, you like Delilah, for real. You like Delilah, but a whole man like Delilah. And then it's because of how we was raised and how we was brought up as men, right? So self-control is a big thing, right?
Lukewarm, gotta pick a side. Who am I?
Hey, man, I knew he wasn't going to make it past the 7, bro.
No. Look at him.
Hey, man, he got woozy. He got dropped twice already, man. He wasn't going to make it. And we got him out of there, you feel me?
It's the hand of God, man.
Exactly, bro.
Yo, what's good, Mike?
What's up, boy?
Man, what you got for the fight? What's up, man?
I got Jackson, man. What you got?
Shit.
Hey, what's up, man? Sit down.
Nah. Yo, Mike, let me talk to you for a second.
All right. What's up, bro?
Yo, why you didn't tell me Jamal was here?
What?
I said, why you didn't tell me Jamal was here?
Why would I have to do that? He always over here. Just like you are. What's the problem?
I don't fuck with that nigga.
Damn.
What are you talking about? You don't fuck with him. What?
On some real shit, next time you gonna have random niggas over here, let me know in advance.
Fuck you mean, random niggas, man? It's Jamal, nigga.
Especially him.
All right. I don't know what you on today, bro, but why the fuck, why is it a problem that your brother's here, man?
That nigga ain't my brother.
What?
That's not my brother.
Malik, what are you talking about, man?
I only got 2 brothers.
You got 3 brothers, and that nigga's one of them.
That nigga ain't my brother.
Since when this nigga ain't been your brother, man? Y'all roommates, y'all live together.
Since this morning.
All right, my nigga, what are you doing, bro? What's going on?
You know I like cereal.
Yeah.
Captain Crunch, berries. We only had 2 boxes of cereal. That's Golden Crisp and Captain Crunch. Everybody know I don't fuck with Golden Crisp.
All right.
You know that.
I do. I know that.
So let me tell you what this nigga did. He goes to get the Captain Crunch and take all the berries out and leave me Crunch.
Damn.
Fuck is you laughing at?
I'm sorry, bro. That's why you mad at the nigga?
That's why that nigga's dead to me.
Wow.
Nigga, man, you can't be mad at the nigga for cereal, bro?
That's all I eat. He know that. What the fuck is so funny, man?
I'm saying, man.
You think this shit's a game?
Bro, I think you blowing
Yo,
out the
do me a
proportion.
favor, man. Erase my number, man. Both y'all niggas is fucking dead to me, man.
Shit.
Malik, come on, bro. Hold on, man.
Fuck you, Mike.
Hey.
Fuck you, Mike.
Dog, you can't be serious. Malik.
Real fucking selfish, you know that, right?
I thought you wasn't talking to me. Why you still talking to me?
Better have my fucking berries.
Pause.
Pause.
Oh, crazy, man. Y'all niggas is wild, bro.
That nigga wild.
So you ate all the damn berries at the Captain Crunch?
Left him with nothing but the crunch, nigga. Fuck you talking about?
For what, man?
Fuck you mean? He ain't tell you what he did to me? What'd he do? Had one of my heavyweights over there.
Oh, wait.
Long story short, she had her own chips, a little blend. Pulled up with the Doritos and all that. I ain't even clip it yet. This nigga left me plain Doritos.
Shit.
What you mean plain Doritos? You can't do plain Doritos. It's nacho, spicy nacho, ranch.
You ain't never had butt naked Doritos. This nigga ate off the dust.
What?
The additional dust on the Dorito ate all the dust. Just butt naked, soggy tortillas.
So he ate all the Dorito dust off of Doritos and left you. He put them back in the bag?
That nigga's the devil.
All right, man. Y'all niggas is petty, dude. Y'all brothers, I don't even understand why. Y'all niggas is best friends. The fuck is that?
Would you like some berries?
Nigga, you ate. You got, nigga, you got berries in your pocket?
As long as he don't got them.
Come on, man. Y'all niggas is brothers, man.
Lucky I ain't leave him somewhere. If it was anybody else, I left him to fucking crunch. Could have left him. You heard?
You can't kill your brother over Doritos.
Why not, nigga? Saying in the Bible, I don't know who gave you the rules.
Y'all best friends, y'all brothers, man.
I ain't even clipped the joint yet. I ain't ever beat. She left because there was no dust.
Oh, he ate the dust off all the
Before,
chips?
yeah, before I even got to beat it. Like, it's unacceptable, my nigga.
All right, man. Y'all wild. Y'all petty as hell, man.
Be all right, man. Fuck that nigga. Pause. Yo.
Got a package in front of the crib.
Pause. What you mean?
You got a Amazon package in front of the crib in front of the door.
Oh, all right.
I'm gonna take it inside the house when nobody steal.
Word, good look.
Still owe me some berries, nigga.
So hold on. What aren't you understanding?
All right. You could cut it. So y'all seen brothers like that, right? Brothers just petty, emotional brothers, right? This stuff. Now he ate all the Crunch Berries out, right? Because his brother ate all the Doritos. They rendering evil for evil, right? Like the scriptures say. It's funny, but it's really how we are as a people. That's what me, Offset Azariah, was up here talking about. Because we'll see that video and be like, oh, I'm not that way. But think about why brothers lead the truth. Be petty stuff. It be petty stuff like that. Yo, I ain't really like how the brother looked at me when he said that thing. Now he'd be like, because he said that, I'm going to come back and I'm going to do something evil. As equally evil, right, to piss him off because I feel some type of way. Proverbs 26 and 21. So we might watch this video and be like, damn, Crunch Berries? But I feel that way about you get mad over correction. I feel that way about you get mad because somebody told you what to do in terms of following protocol. I feel that way because somebody asked you to show up to Camp 101, show up to the school. Because somebody actually showed you love. You're like, yo, I don't like that brother, bro. I don't like him. He did something evil to me, so I'm going to do something evil back. Watch this.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 26 and verse 21. As coals are to burning coals and wood to fire, so is a contentious man to kindle strife.
A contentious man, if you got that type of spirit, you're always going to end up in some type of issue. That's what you was looking at. Two brothers that's just petty, going back and forth over anything. Right? Go ahead, officer.
Yeah, because I was going to say, accountability always looks like attack, right? When you're not really acknowledge your behavior, right? It always looks like attack. A man is gonna take that on as like, you right, man. I was out of line. I'm a self-meditate on. I'm a self-evaluate. But those that are not a man, those ones like that Jude 19, right? It feels like an attack. It feels like attack to them, a personal attack when you tell them, Negro, why you always late to Camp 101? Like, the men are waiting for you, right? Crazy.
Get that one.
Moist. Juicy.
The book of Jude, verse 19. These be they who separate themselves, sensual, having not the spirit.
That is not a man. That we can just cut through the chase. That is not a man at all. Like again, I said, accountability feels like attack when you're not ready to acknowledge your behavior and how it reflects on others because you're not willing to man up and be held accountable because you want to do what you want to do. Yep.
Like a little kid, right? They winked at me, they piped at me, and have not because, like Christ said, they winked at me and piped at me, but we haven't listened, right? Meaning
Sottish.
Yep, exactly. Like a little child that's like, yo, do this, and you're like, nah, man, I'm not gonna do it your way, and then you correct them, and they go, I don't like him, he mean. You get that spirit from the way you were raised up. That's where that come from. A lot of the time when you're getting corrected, you got to say, damn, this never happened to me before. You got to stop yourself and say, when has this ever happened to me? When has a grown man held me accountable? Not in school, only in sports, right? Most of us. Sports or the Army, right? Some type of armed forces. That's the only two places you ever really got held accountable. Besides that, in your neighborhood, if you ain't do your homework and you was an idiot, if you was not doing your homework, right, or you was an idiot, your children ain't say nothing to you, right? Your friends ain't say nothing to you. I don't know where he want us to move. Yeah, I mean, he threw me off with that. Yeah, but with your with the kids, right, and your school or your friends, they never really said nothing to you. They just let you rock. If you was out of pocket, not doing your homework, nobody ever say, yo, you got to do your homework. You got to show up for practice on time. Nobody did that. So we grow up and we're not used to this correction. Sirach 28 and verse 7. Read that.
The book of Sirach, chapter 28 and verse 7.
Go ahead.
Remember the commandments and bear no malice to thy neighbor. Remember the covenant of the highest and weak at ignorance.
You see what it says? Remember the commandments. See what it said? If you remember the laws, if you stand up like a man, right, you're going to remember the laws. You're not going to have malice. You're not going to be like, yo, he ate all the sauce off, he ate all the dust off the Doritos, so I'm taking all the crunch berries out the box. You won't be that type of spirit, but some brothers is that spirit. They come to the Sabbath, and I'm telling you, no lie, there's brothers that come in here on the Sabbath, and Azariah could attest to it, that feel like brothers is plotting on them the Sabbath morning. There's really brothers that are coming to Sabbath and be like, yo, man, that brother was plotting on me. When? It's 7:15. When did he plot on you? So he stayed up all night while Deacon Asaph was on and said, you know what, tomorrow I'm going to get Azariah. I'm going to find something on him. Brothers think like that, y'all. Brothers think like that. There's a lot of brothers, when they get corrected, they get into that place of being bitter and they feel like somebody is plotting on me. They're devising an evil plot against me to get on me. But that ain't the mindset that a leader has. A leader wakes up and says, how can I make the men around me better every morning? That's what men do. But the way it feels to certain individuals is like an attack. And if they had the laws of God in them, they will realize, what? Bear no malice to thy neighbor, and also says, and wink at ignorance. Sometimes somebody could be correcting you in ignorance, getting on you in ignorance. So when it says wink at ignorance, it means like ignore it. Ignore it. Don't let everything bother you. Read the next verse. Watch what it goes into.
Abstain from strife, and thou shalt diminish thy sins.
See, if you stop all this back and forth, this strife, this going back and forth energy, and say you will stop some of your sins. Because once you get in that place of going back and forth, now it's going to get more and more evil over time. It's going to go from he got me this way, I'm going to get him back. Okay, now you got him, you got that spirit on you, I'm going to get him back even harder. It's like prank wars, if y'all ever seen that. The pranks always go too far. Because at first it's a little joke, right? Or slap boxing. I don't know if y'all slap boxed when y'all was a little kid. Slap boxing always started off, yo, we just going to slap box, we going to 5. And then somebody got caught. And if there was women around and somebody said, ooh, it's a fight. It was just, at first it was just, let's work on our hands with each other. And I got you a couple times, you got me. And then that one come through and you hit, oh! And now you getting punched. Now you getting punched. You're like, what did I sign up for? He is trying to whoop my behind. Right? Go ahead.
For a furious man will kindle strife.
See what it says? Right? A furious man will kindle strife. Next verse.
A sinful man disquieteth friends.
A sinful man, right, will disquiet his friends. They make 2 friends be uneasy now. So much sin on him. When he come in the room, everybody arguing now. We just chilling. We about to watch the boxing match. He come in the room, yo, got to talk to you in the back. Yo, the officer said this to me. Now you looking at the officer crazy like, you did that? Yo, officer, you did that to him? Now we all arguing about foolishness. Go ahead.
And maketh debate among them that be at peace.
See, he creates issues and disagreement. Why? Because his spirit don't know how to resolve conflict. 1 John 3 and verse 15. Y'all might be this brother. You might be this brother who walk around with anger on you. Then you go to the next brother, you say, man, I ain't like how that went down. And then the next brother like, you ain't like how that went down? Explain it to me. Yeah, I don't like how it went down now too. Now you're walking around, and now that anger spirit has jumped on everybody, and you ready to argue all the time. And what that grows into is this, 1 John 3:15.
The book of 1 John chapter 3 and verse 15. Whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer.
See what it says? If you hate your brother, you're a murderer. You could grow into that because you like strife, because you don't know how to let things go. You don't know how to wink at ignorance. You don't know how to apply Matthew 18 and resolve conflict. You the type of brother that every time something happens, you get in your feelings and you want to go back and forth. That's how many of us grew up. Again, this is female behaviors, effeminate traits. And when you say, am I a man, if you don't know how to resolve conflict and let things go, you're not a man. Men have to let stuff go. When you're a man, right, you got nuclear bombs. You running the country, you got nukes. You could press them for any reason. In order for us not to all be dead right now at this moment, somebody had to say, yo, I'm going to chill. I could blow them all up right now. I'm going to blow them all up. But look at our brothers in the neighborhood. What happens when we start arguing? What they say they going to? I'm going to go where? I'm going to the trunk. It's time to go to the trunk. Right away. Yo, I'm about to go pop that trunk on them. So imagine if we had nuclear bombs, what our neighborhood would look like. See what I'm saying? Go ahead. Say it on the mic. I'm listening.
I was just referencing the movie. I think it was either Boys in the Hoods or Don't Be a Menace, the one we had the bomb in the truck.
Yep, and he pulled it out the bag and he said, "Dude, we have a problem here."
Yeah, he was about to kill all those brothers.
Yeah, the gun got bigger and bigger. It went from a small gun to the fact the back of the mail truck had the missile in it. That's perfect. That's the way we are as a people. It goes from we chilling and we arguing to it getting to the point where now somebody got to die. And when you look at a lot of brothers like out the body right now, that stuff that happened in 2018 was because we couldn't resolve conflict. Because grown men couldn't have a conversation. Grown men couldn't disagree and say, "Yo, you know what? I ain't feeling the way you did that. Let's talk about it. Let's get to a place of conflict resolution." Because that couldn't happen. Now men is out the truth.
You know, and even and even when it happens with two men in the same house, say they're in security or they're maintenance and they got a beef and they're not talking, hindering the whole process because they're too weak to do Matthew 18:15. You know what I'm saying?
It stopped the body from moving forward.
Stop the body from moving
The
forward.
whole body can't get nothing done now.
Can't even talk to one another.
Yep.
Silliness.
Yep. And it stops a nation. Right? If you think about it, we supposed to be moving the nation forward. So we can't have a conversation to resolve this issue and move forward. It stops the entire nation from moving forward.
Check this out, cause like we quick to say, man, I ain't perfect, but they want to hold the other dude to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't perfect, but they want to hold the other dude to be perfect. Like that man doesn't have faults or family have issues going on. Maybe he had a bad day, but since he had a bad day and you had miscommunication, you want to hold him to something that you're not willing to be held to. So now we not talking because you mad. You all in your feelings and shit.
An unrealistic standard you got for your brother.
Yep, that's right.
Damn. Let's let it breathe. All right. Next problem. Next issue I see amongst men, grown men, right? Because you say you a man, right? I ask you, who's a man in here? Hoorah! Right? That's what y'all say, right?
Hey, I know Desmond ain't saying it. You see his picture on Telegram?
Nah. What he got on there? Ooh, Desmond, show me the picture later. What he got on? He got on green pants?
Nah, I'm going to show it to you.
All right, we're going to look at it. Don't change it now, bruh. Don't change the picture either. All right. Hey, next video. Some of y'all brothers' problems, this is something y'all got to deal with. Y'all got a wife, right, who runs you. This is what we got to deal with. Especially in here, we got this problem. Some of y'all households is out of order. I watch it. Some of y'all wives, they be giving y'all lip in the school, and I know they giving you lip at the house. So we're going to talk about it. Some of them don't follow anything you say to do. Some of them you've been married to before the truth, right? Some of them you brought in here and got married to, but I see issues. This is probably what your life look like when you go home. This is probably going to happen when you leave the school. Watch what it say.
Hey, bro. So yeah, man, I told her, hey, I'm Mr. Thumb. I'm Mr. Thumbmeister. You know what I'm saying? I only got 2 thumbs, so don't get too greedy. You feel me? Ha ha! Yes, she did. Hey, man, I'm just saying things get a little complicated when you thumb them down too well. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? My lady, she be out.
Bye.
Baby, I was on the
Hold
phone.
on, pause it. This is how some brothers' house be going. I know y'all reacted, but some brothers be on the phone. They wife take the phone from them. Go ahead, hit play.
Saw that.
Hello, how you doing? I ain't seen you all day.
What's up?
What's up, baby? Give me a hug or sit down or something. Give me some love.
No, thank you.
Okay.
You haven't been doing anything right.
You ain't say hello to me. I ain't seen you all day since yesterday, and this is what you're telling me.
I mean, when you got bad behavior, are you supposed to get rewarded for that?
See what she said? She ain't say hello to y'all. Some of y'all wives, again, some of y'all wives don't even say hello to you. You about to go home right now, sit down. She ain't finna come out the room, check on you. You alive, everything good. She gonna stay right in the room and go to sleep. That's disrespect. Y'all gotta understand that. These little things, you might think it's a small thing. You pay all the bills in the house. You walk in the house, you like, oh, that nigga in the house. Him downstairs. That's how you getting treated. That's how he getting treated. He on the phone. He like, yo. She took the phone from him. Right then and there would have been a problem. But go ahead, hit play.
Who has bad behavior?
You.
What did I do?
You've been doing everything wrong.
Oh, wow. Everything wrong? Well, what are you talking about? How?
For starters, the other day, I fell in the toilet.
What? When?
I told you I was gonna come by, drop you off something to eat. Had to pee, went to the bathroom, damn near drowned. Needed a life vest.
Baby, you wasn't gonna drown. You know how to swim.
In the toilet water?
That was a joke. And I apologize for keeping the toilet seat up. I be forgetting to put it down because you know I live alone. You don't come over that often. I apologize.
I don't want my booty wet.
I understand. Neither do I. I get it. I apologize.
No, and then what you mean you live alone? I'm here all the time.
All the time. You come like once or twice a week, and that's fine because I'm at your house 3 times a week. You at my house twice.
Once, twice a week, all the time, same thing.
Okay.
And then, no. Come to think about it, I called you today while you was at work.
Yes, I remember that. I saw that.
It was during your lunch break,
Yeah.
when you can answer, and you didn't.
I didn't answer because I was in the bathroom using the restroom.
But you always have your phone in the bathroom with you.
That's true. Normally I'd be on the phone, IGing or talking to my girl. But this particular time, I had the bubble guts this morning, all right? And during my lunch break, I was bubbling. The enchiladas from last night had the cheese and all that. The verde sauce had me on bubble. Shit. Broiling, all right? So I was in a rush to get to the bathroom. So I forgot my phone on the desk. Halfway down the hallway, I was power walking. I realized, damn, I left my phone. I could either A, go back, get my phone and risk shitting on myself and blowing the whole office up, or
All right, cut
B,
this one. Let's go to the next one. Y'all get the point, right? You got one more. Watch. This might be your house. You explaining yourself now. That's the point I wanted y'all to see. She break you down to the point you explaining why you ain't. Yo, I ain't picked my phone up. That should have been the answer. But when she controlling you, she get everything about you. Watch. We're gonna read in the scripture. Y'all might be like, huh? How's that? Your wife running you? Huh? Oh, we're gonna see. Watch. Go ahead.
Who is it?
She might come greet you like this. Go to play.
what's wrong with you?
Where have you been?
Why you
Where
been at
have
that
you
damn
been?
school, brother?
Whoa.
Pause it. Why you been at that school? The hell you doing at Camp 101? You ain't been in the house with me all night. Some of y'all get this. Some of y'all got this going on. I'm telling you. It's a joke till it's you. I'm telling you. If you a man, this is not the type of stuff that should be happening in your house.
I can't even say what I want to say. I'll go ahead, man.
Oh, man, it play, bro. Run it back. I want to go back to where he came through the door. This is my brother's experience. Then they come in here, man, they all defeated. Some of y'all got to encourage y'all brothers, man. Because straight up, brothers is going through stuff like that. They're not going to admit it. But this is stuff that got to get corrected. That's why I got to come out. Go ahead.
What's wrong with you?
Where have you been? Where have you been?
Whoa. Now I'm a grown-ass man. I don't need to be checking in with you. Wait, bro. Come on. Hold on now. Wait a minute. You're not going to be putting your hands...
Before the movie even got started? Bro, we was at Layla Rashawn part when Eddie pulled back the shit.
Nigga, I'm calling 911.
Wait, hold on. Wait a minute, baby. Baby. What you doing? Hey, stop playing, girl. Damn. You know, I just got out. I'm on parole, and the last thing I need up in here is the police. Damn, bro. No, I love you.
That's 911.
Well, let that shit ring.
If you don't answer, they're gonna come by here.
Hello? How are you? No, there's no problem here. Yeah. I was trying to dial 411. I must have dialed 911 by mistake. Yeah. Well, thank you for your concern, Sergeant. Yeah. Okay, all right now, Captain. Thank you. Bye now. Damn, girl. What's up with you? You know I love you, miss you. You ain't have no hands nowhere over here.
Stop.
See? This is the stuff. This is what be going down in brothers' households. Then they say, yo, my household's in order.
Which one of you niggas got the shit slapped out of you lately? You can say it. We ain't gonna laugh at you.
I know stories, bro.
Which one of you? Okay. Lord gonna bring it out. I know somebody that got yoked up.
I'm telling you, it be happening, bro. Y'all look at this stuff, or Bishop bring it out. You think it's a joke. Brothers be getting slapped. Sisters be putting hands on brothers and coming to the Sabbath. This stuff be happening. I'm telling you, this stuff be happening. Proverbs chapter 27, verse 15. Y'all think this don't be happening if you won't. Proverbs 27, verse 15.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 27 and verse 15. A continual dropping and a very rainy day and a contentious woman are alike.
As continual dropping on a very rainy day, like a drip from the rain, it's like being with that contentious woman in your house. That woman that's out of order, that don't know when to shut up. It's like rain just hitting the. After a while, it get on your nerves. You want to see what's dripping out there. It's like the sink is running. This is how it is when you're dealing with a woman that got that spirit on them. Ezekiel chapter 13, verse 17. And the worst part about it, right? Some of y'all, your house out of order, so what they do is they just keep pressing upon you, right? Like you saw the sister in the first video, she kept asking questions until it broke him down. Now he explaining everything that's going on with his stomach. If you understand now, she has the upper hand. I don't know if any of y'all ever been in an interrogation room, right? I know we've all been in an interview. But if you go into that room and they start asking you questions till they get the story out of you, you're like, man, I went to the store last night. You know you done fucked up, right? That's how it go. That's how your wife do you. She asks questions until she poke a hole as she feel like it's a hole, and then she starts an argument. Ezekiel 13, 17.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 13 and verse 17. Likewise, thou son of man, set thy face against the daughters of thy people.
You see what it says? Set thy face against the daughters of your people. So not to say you should always be in conflict with your wife, but there was a reason he said this. Because of what? Read.
Which prophesy out of their own heart.
Out of their own mind. Out of their own feelings. We know a woman's mind is like a racetrack that's crisscrossing. So if they're prophesying out of their own heart, their feelings change all the time. The way they rationalize and think about things is constantly changing. So what you're doing when you're dealing with them and going back and forth is you ain't never going to be able to explain this in a linear way. You're trying to explain it like you're talking to a grown man. Yo, I did this, then I did this, then I did this. She go, what about this? What about 3 weeks ago? What about this? What about when the monkey came in the house and the monkey jumped off the roof and the rain started coming? You be like, what? That don't got nothing to do with the story I'm telling in this order. But she'll get you into that place of explaining. Then you wonder why you're going back and forth and there's conflict. It's because she already opened the door to control you. I'm going to show it to you now. Judges chapter 16. Judges chapter 16, start at verse 4. You may say, yo, my wife don't do this. I'm a man. I run my house. A long time ago, Officer Caleb was having a conversation with me. He was like, yo, a lot of brothers don't even realize they don't run their house. Because what women do, right, is they'll suggest something. It's a suggestion at first. And when a suggestion then gets pressed upon, it becomes like it's your thought. You be like, damn, that's a good idea. You know what we should do? We should get 6 couches in this mug. Be like, bro, why you got them 6 couches, man? You know, I like them. But before, you didn't care about no couches. Your wife just kept pressing it upon you. And it's different times that she'll press it upon. We're going to read about it. Watch. Judges 16. We're going to start at verse 4.
The book of Judges, chapter 16 and verse 4.
We're going to read about Simpson. Go ahead.
And it came to pass afterward that he loved a woman in the valley of Sorek.
This is Samson that's talking about. My bad, yo. Right now he in Simpson mode. All right? But he went on to, do great things once he got his stuff together. But Judges 16, watch. And before this point, he did some stuff, right? Go ahead.
And it came to pass afterward that he loved a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah.
You see what it said? That he loved a woman. Many of you got so much affection towards this woman that she knows that. Right? You so deep, you Ralph Tresvant, sensitivity. You head over heels for her, so she understands, yo, I can manipulate and move the situation. He not leaving me. He loved me more than he loved himself. That's why they can talk to you and deal with you that way. Go ahead.
And the lords of the Philistines came up unto her, and said unto her, entice him, and see wherein is his great strength lieth.
You see what happened here? They came to her knowing what? She was the way into the man. That's what your wife is to the enemy. The path through which they can use to figure out how to move and manipulate you. Read that part again where it says entice.
Entice him, and see wherein his great strength lieth.
Yep.
And by what means we may prevail against him.
How can we get control of this man? Through you. You're going to give us the details we need. You're going to rile up his spirit and move his spirit in whatever direction. If we can control you, you can control him. A man knows this is the enemy's tactic. It's been the enemy's tactic. It's to come through your wife. Satan's trick is to come through your wife. Go ahead.
That we may bind him to afflict him. And we will give thee every one of us 1,100 pieces of silver.
So there was a cash money reward for her manipulating this man. This wasn't even his wife. When you read up, Delilah was a lady of the night. Go ahead.
And Delilah
Go ahead.
And Delilah said to Samson, Tell me, I pray thee, wherein thou great strength lieth, and wherewith thou mightest be bound to afflict thee. And Samson said unto her, If they bind me with 7 green withs.
So when she asked, right, he gave her an answer. He just gave her an answer, right? But what you think made him give the answer? He probably was looking at her like, man, she fine. I really don't want to piss her off. I really don't want to argue with her. I'm trying to hit it. Let me just tell her what she want to hear. Let me give her some type of answer or something so there's not conflict. But that's how it starts. You answer. You don't keep it real. You don't say, yo, stop asking me that question. I'm not finna tell you. You give them something. They're like, I got him. I got him. I opened him up. He's telling me something that I want to hear. I know he didn't want to talk about this, but I got him to even think about it. Go ahead.
And Samson said unto her, If they bind me with 7 green withs that were never dried, then shall I be weak, and be as another man.
Read a little faster.
Then the lords of the Philistines brought up to her 7 green withs which had not been dried, and she bound him with them. Now there were men lying in wait, abiding with her in the chamber. And she said unto him, The Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he brake the withs, and as a thread of tow is broken when it toucheth the fire. So his strength was not known.
So now he break out all of that. The men try to get him, he break out. Watch what Samson do. Watch. Go ahead.
And Delilah said unto Samson, Behold, thou hast mocked me and told me lies. Now tell me, I pray thee, wherewith thou mightest be bound.
Wait a second, y'all. Y'all see what happened? Somebody help me out. Read verse 10 again.
And Delilah said unto Samson, Behold, thou hast mocked me and told me lies. Now tell me, I pray thee, wherewith thou mightest be bound.
What happened? Go ahead.
Shalom, sir. She immediately tried pointing the blame back at him.
Right. What happens when men argue with women most of the time? Yo, 3 weeks ago you didn't do this. 8 months ago you didn't do this. Remember back when this happened and you didn't take care of this? The purpose for that is to do what? Deflect. You're seeing it right here in the scriptures. She immediately went back to what he didn't do. She just tried to get the man locked up, hemmed up. She said, you mocked me. You wrong. She tried to get him killed for cash money and say, yo, Samson, why you lie to me? And how you think she did it? You think she did it in an aggressive voice? What y'all think happened? Huh? Say, get the mic so you can say it so everybody can hear you. You got to turn on the mic first.
She probably whining,
right.
In a whiny voice.
Right. Crying. Samson, you mocked me. You ain't right. So now what's Samson doing? He all emotional. Yep. He like, I'm sorry, baby. I won't do it again. That's how some of y'all be. This is how your wife move you. This is how your wife gets you to the point where now you're doing stuff out of character. We like, yo, bro, why you ain't come to the class on Sunday night? Well, my wife said. Your wife said. How your wife telling you what to do? It's because she started crying last time. You like, yo, I'm going to the class. Then you come home, she like, you always going to that class. You always in there learning and stuff. Why you don't spend time with me? Then you go, you know what, babe, you right. I'm finna skip 3 of these classes and be with you. That's how it happened. Just like Delilah did it. That's why it's written here for you to look at it and say, oh, snap. Look what happened to Samson. Keep reading. Verse 9.
Verse 11?
Verse 11.
Verse 11. And he said unto her, If they bind me fast with new ropes that were never occupied, then shall I be weak and be as another man. Delilah therefore took new ropes and bound him therewith, and said unto him, The Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And there were liers in wait, abiding in the chamber, and he brake them from off his arms like a thread.
See? So now she took brand new ropes and tried to lock him up a second time. The question is, what made that man stay with her? Huh? Say it. That's exactly what it is. Some of you brothers be weak for the coochie. Be weak. That's what it is. She plotting on you. She's praying on your downfall, but you're like, man, that box is so good, I'll let her. I'll go to jail and die for her.
The cooch is a hell of a drug.
It's a hell of a drug, bruh. And that's what's happening right here. He get in the box and he going, yo, and you know what? If you would have asked Samson, he would have said, I'm running my house. I'm a man. But she put that box on him. He gave her another answer. Yo, tie me up with ropes this time. Huh?
Samson was like, Claude. That's it, Claude.
Oh, man. Keep reading, man. Sheesh.
Verse 13.
And look, man, she had to be putting it on my boy, man. I'm just telling you what be happening. Some of your wives, she'll put it on you, roll over and go, so what Officer Jadiel say to you? What do he say to you? Why? You should be Officer 50. No, you should be in his position. That nigga ain't right. You be like, yes, my lord. Watch. Read the next verse. Watch what happens.
Verse 13. And Delilah said unto Samson, hitherto thou hast mocked me and told me lies.
Now she tried to get him caught up twice. She's still pointing the finger. Remember what you did back in 1967? Remember what you did 3 weeks ago? Remember how come you ain't do this? You mocked me. She never took accountability for the fact she was trying to get him locked up. Not to mention she's a harlot, right? I called her a lady of the night earlier, right? She's a hoe. He's paying her to interact with her. And he getting plotted on. All he got to do is stop going to I'm paying. But he can't because he's connected. Because his spirit ain't strong enough to say, I'm a man. I shouldn't be in this situation. Her beauty, right? Her putting it on him. It was so much to him that he's like, yo, I can't be alone. I got to get this box. Go ahead.
Tell me wherewith thou mightest be bound. And he said unto her, if thou weavest the 7 locks of my head with the web. And she fastened it with a pin and said unto him, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he awaked out of his sleep and went away with the pin of the beam and with the web.
Read.
And she said unto him, how canst thou say, I love thee, when thine heart is not with me?
See what it said? How can you say you love me if your mind ain't with my mind? The scriptures say that your wife's mind is supposed to be after your mind. But what she said was, you ain't following me. You ain't connected with me because you ain't doing what I want you to do. This is what women say to y'all, and y'all get all bent out of shape and move. You be like, damn, I don't love my wife because I'm not doing what she want me to do. And this is what Delilah was able to use and manipulate Samson, right? Although he was physically strong, mentally he was able to be manipulated. He would have said he was a man, but she was running him. This is how some households are. Go ahead.
Thou hast mocked me these 3 times, and hast not told me wherein thy great strength lieth. And it came to pass when she pressed him daily with her words.
When she pressed him daily with her words, what you think that looked like? Every day he wake up, she like, you ain't gonna tell me? What's wrong with you? You don't love me. You hate me. Now he looking at her, you like, my wife's so sad, man. I'm gonna have to do something. I'm gonna have to go in and tell her, just tell her, because my wife said. He probably going to other brothers. Delilah's crying. The hoe is crying. Go ahead, man. It's a shame, but this is how women manipulate men. And when you read the story of Adam and Eve, the same thing happens. She didn't just ask once. She pressed upon him. So many of you think you're running your house, but what's going on there is over time, you being moved to do what your wife wants you to do. And she'll make you think it's your idea. You be eating dinner, you be like, man, we eating this. I ain't even really like this like that. How the hell we end up over here? Because she started pressing upon you. Watch what else she did.
And it came to pass when she pressed upon him, when she pressed him daily with her words and urged him, so that his soul was vexed unto death.
See, some brothers come up in here, they look dead. You like, yo, bro, what's up with you? Shalom. You like, shalom, officer. Most high in Christ bless, sir. Hey, yo, what's up with you, man? Wife is pressing upon him. Day in, day out. She beating him up. So now he coming to school, he's finished. Coming to school, he finished because she's urging him to do whatever she want him to do. Not to be here. She probably made it difficult for him to get here. She making his life difficult on a daily basis. So his pride and his joy is being taken away. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 17, that he told her all his heart and said unto her, there have not come a razor upon mine head, for I have been a Nazarite unto God from my mother's womb. If I be shaven, then my strength will go from me, and I shall become weak and be like any other man.
See? Right there, he lost his manhood. He's going to be like any other man once he gave it up. But it says something, right? If you jump back and you look at, keep reading verse 18. I want to show you. Watch.
Verse 18, And when Delilah saw that he had told her all his heart, she sent and called for the lords of the Philistines, saying, Come up this once, for he hath showed me all his heart.
Come get this nigga. I got him. He gave me everything. The jig is up. Watch what she do next.
Then the lords of the Philistines came up unto her and brought money in their hand. And she made him sleep upon her knees.
How you think she got him to sleep upon his knees? What y'all think happened in there? Huh? Yeah. He smashed. Now he sleep on his knees. She put it on my boy. He on his knees. He fell asleep on his knees. Huh? He fell asleep on his knees. He was on her knees laying down. That's what's happening.
Like a baby with a nipple in his mouth.
That's the point. He laying across. He got his head in her lap. The only way for his head to be in her lap is she put it on him.
He was purring.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Go ahead.
And she made him sleep upon her knees. And she called for a man, and she caused him to shave off the 7 locks of his head. And she began to afflict him, and his strength went from him.
So the point I'm making to y'all is what? They will beat you down and then give you the box. And a lot of y'all will wake up and be like, man, me and my wife, we all good, man. We had sex last night. We straight.
She beat the doonies out
She
of him.
beat the doonies. Yes, she did. She straight up did.
She beat the doonies out of him.
Doonies out of him. Golly. Sheesh. It went the other way. And sometimes this will happen to you. And then you be like, man, I'm running my house. I'm a man. Sirach 25 and 24. Read that for me. Watch what the scriptures say, man. So you got to be mindful of this. Am I a man? These are all things to watch. These are all things to watch. Because you know when he found out she was running him? After his locks got cut off and all his power was gone. But the whole time she was manipulating him. The box was so good that he kept going back. Despite the fact that she was no good for him the entire time. Despite the fact that she never took accountability and she took everything and turned it to what he was doing wrong. He couldn't see these red flags. He was like, yo, I need some of that. I can't be alone. Read that.
The book of Sirach, chapter 25 and verse 24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin.
Yep.
And through her we all die.
That's what the scriptures say. The women is the start of sin, and through her we all die. So why would we follow our wives and not command them to follow us? Why would we do that? The only way we would do that is if we want to take the nation backwards. Because that's what we're talking about as men. As men, this is what takes the nation backwards. Give me the next video real quick.
Where to go these days?
Do you believe the two of you have a communication problem?
Yes, definitely.
Why don't you tell me what you believe the nature of that problem is?
I believe we communicate 2 different ways. And with that, we don't fully understand exactly how each other communicates.
What goes wrong? How, do you
talk too
guys start
fast.
yelling? Is it?
No, it's really his anger. It's not necessarily he talks too fast. I feel like he doesn't hear. He doesn't hear or listen to what I have to say.
Do you pay attention to what she says?
Most definitely.
I don't believe anything you tell me, DH, over there. You're all cool, calm, most definitely, absolutely, no problem. It's all good, it's all cool.
I listen to everything she says.
You listen to everything she says?
Yes, ma'am.
So why do you have a problem with communication?
I just think that we see eye to eye differently. I don't know, maybe 2 different walks of life. I had more of a harder life, I would say. She had more of a sheltered life. So
Well, that's one thing you're concerned about with her. You say she has no hustle. What do you mean she has no hustle?
no, hustle and bustle. Here we go. She's born and raised right here. She has all her family right here. I'm not from out here. I'm from New York, so I have no family. So all I got to do is everything for myself. Well, all she got to do is just call somebody if she needs help.
Yeah, but wasn't she 22 alone with an infant? There's some hustle
She
there.
also lived with family members as well.
Because her man abandoned her.
No, that's not true.
Well, yeah, you did. You bolted.
When I left, it was supposed to be an abortion. That was the terms we came to agree upon.
No, it's not.
Yeah, don't even
Of
worry
course
about
not.
it. Don't even worry about it.
Of course not.
What are your concerns about the marriage that you are considering?
My concerns is if we don't get the issues now straightened out or fixed, that they'll only get worse when we get married.
So what are the issues?
His anger, his temperament is like my major issue with him. I mean, he goes, like I said, 0 to 100 within seconds.
What does he get angry about? Give me an example of some outrageous response he had to a small problem.
I can tell you, for instance, one day we were sitting in the car and we had been talking for like 3 hours this morning. He knew I had to finish taking a test for this job that I had. So I kept telling him, I was like, I got to go in, I got to take the test. And he's very good at swaying you over. So it would be like an extra 10 minutes here, extra 15 minutes here that I would sit in the car and still talk to him until I looked at the time. I had a deadline of when I had to finish this test and told him I had to go. So he got upset because I was leaving. And so he took my cell phone and he smashed it into smithereens.
Mr. DH, why don't you give me your version of that story?
We needed bills paid at the moment. I was trying to figure out how to get bills paid. So if we're trying to get bills paid, I don't want to hear, I got to do something else. No, we need to work. You're not going to be able to take a test if we have no roof.
If you're worried about bills, why would you break a cell phone?
Oh, I was stupid at the moment. We all have bad tempers, but I have lack of tolerance.
You have lack of control problem.
No, I can control a lot.
No, you didn't control it because your phone, you had a money problem, and your action was to cost yourself more money by destroying a phone. So you didn't have control. You had lost control.
All right, give me Proverbs chapter 25 and verse 28. That's how some of you brothers are. You lack self-control. Be in the house screaming on your wife, top of the lungs, going crazy because you lack self-control. You lack the ability to be disciplined. Go ahead.
The book of Proverbs chapter 25 and verse 28. He that have no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls.
The scriptures say you like a city that's broken down and without walls. Any type of demon or issue can enter in and rile you up, move you in whatever direction. And it tied back to what we was talking about. Some of y'all can't control your own self, so she can control you. Or any problem could control you because you lack that discipline, that ability to calm yourself down and be temperate in certain situations. Sirach 1 and 22. So this is, again, these are characteristics that you see, right? And you got to examine them and say, am I a man? Because if you're not displaying these certain behaviors, if you're not running your household, right, your wife is moving and manipulating you. She's questioning you and running everything. You getting angry all the time and breaking phones and throwing stuff. It shows you that you're really effeminate. Just telling you what it is. And these behaviors, we here to clean them up, right? Read that.
The book of Sirach, chapter 1 and verse 22. A furious man cannot be justified.
Yep.
For the sway of his fury shall be his destruction.
Because you go from one extreme to the other. The sway of your fury will be a destruction. If that man would have took that phone and kept that woman in the car, that could be entrapment. Now he going to jail. But he ain't thinking like that. You see what he said? He just like, oh, well, I just broke the phone. I was angry. I got a temper problem. He didn't even acknowledge his own issue. That's how many brothers are. You be like, yo, bro, you got a bad anger problem. You need to fix that. Well, she did this. And that's what you see in some brothers. What? Going back, you like Delilah, for real. You like Delilah, but a whole man like Delilah. And it's because of how we was raised and how we was brought up as men, right? So self-control is a big thing, right? On the other side, right, there's examples in the Bible of men who did run their house. Give me 2 Samuel 6 and verse 19 real quick. We're going to have to read it fast. I'm running out of time.
The book of 2 Samuel chapter 6 and verse 19. And he dealt among all the people, even among the whole multitude of Israel, as well to the women as men, to every one a cake of bread, and a good piece of flesh, and a flagon of wine. So all the people departed, every one to his house. Then David returned to bless his household, and Michal, the daughter of Saul, came out to meet David, and said, How glorious was the king of Israel today, who uncovered himself today in the eyes of the handmaids of his servants, as one of the vain fellows shamelessly uncovereth himself.
So Michal, right, David come back, he got the Ark of the Covenant, he boogieing. Everybody went and got bread and wine and a piece of meat. They finna go back to their house and have some fun with their wife. He go into the room with his wife, like we watched in the Big Job video, and she say, look at David. You gonna show your body off and show everybody. You was dancing like an idiot out there. That's how some of y'all be dealing. But here's the difference between you and a man. Read that.
Verse 21. And David said unto Michal, It was before the Lord, which chose me before thy father, and before all
He talked crazy to her. He said, the Lord chose me before your daddy. Her daddy Saul, for the record. The Lord chose me over your daddy. Watch your mouth. That's what he's saying to her. Go ahead.
And before all his house, to appoint me ruler over the people of the Lord, over
Read.
Israel. Therefore will I play before the Lord.
He said, therefore will I dance before the Lord if I want to dance before the Lord. Don't tell me what to do. You don't run me. Go ahead.
And I will yet be more vile than thus. And
He
will
said, I'm going to be more vile than you. Watch what I'm about to do to you. Go ahead.
and will be base in mine own sight.
He said, I'm going to do something that when I look at myself and look at it, I'm be like, damn, you did that? Just to teach you a lesson. Go ahead.
And of the maidservants which thou hast spoken of them shall I be had in honor.
He said, I'm going to go sleep with one of these maidservants, but you, go ahead.
Therefore, Michal, the daughter of Saul, had no child until the day of her death.
From the time that he had that conversation with her till the time she died, she got no baby from David. A woman's honor is childbearing. He did that, so he said, yo, the line about to be drawn in the sand. You ain't never going to talk to me crazy like this again. No rod for you, and you finna sit in his house and die with a cat. David had multiple wives. She became a cat lady because she ran her mouth. So essentially, David had a wife that he left. Like, I'm not sleeping with you. I don't even got to deal with you. I'm going to go sleep with one of these handmaids, and I can go sleep with my other wives. I don't have to listen to this. Just like some of you brothers. You got wives, you be listening to it, putting up with it. Why? You got to lay down the law. You got to. If you don't establish some type of ground rule, what you say, it's harder to get toothpaste back in the tube, right? David did this because he understood, yo, she going too far. And when you read back before this in the history, Saul gave Michal to David so she would be to his destruction. That was the whole purpose of her being there. So David was like, this woman ain't finna destroy me. Shut your mouth. And as a matter of fact, I ain't sleeping with you for the rest of your life.
That's why I said be careful what you tolerate. You're teaching people how to treat you. Wives especially. Go ahead and give them an inch. They niggards too. They're going to take a mile.
That's a fact. Give me Genesis 18 and 19 real quick. We're going to jump forward for time. Try to hurry up and get done.
The book of Genesis.
I got a whole lot more, but we ain't going to touch it all. We're going to just skip through. Go ahead.
The book of Genesis, chapter 18 and verse 19. For I know him, that he will command his children and his household after him. And
so God knew that Abraham was going to check his house. This is an example of a man in the Bible. He said, I'm going to run my house because they were going to follow after him. That's the point. His demeanor, the way he carried himself, the fact that he knew he was a ruler, his own self-value and worth, all these things he was going to put into his household. The laws of God, ultimately. Go ahead.
And they shall keep the way of the Lord to do justice and judgment, that the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he hath spoken of him.
Jump up to verse 11 and watch. Before the Lord said this, watch what happens in 11 through 15. Watch.
Genesis chapter 18, verse 11. Now Abraham and Sarah were old and well stricken in age, and it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of women. Therefore Sarah laughed within herself, saying, after I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord being old also?
Sarah ain't believe that. She like, I ain't finna have no baby. This nigga crazy. I'm done. So she laughed within herself, right? In her mind, she chuckled. Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Abraham, wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, shall I of a surety bear a child which am old? Is anything too hard for the Lord? At the time appointed I will return unto thee according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son.
See, the Lord came to Abraham and said, yo, your wife don't believe. She think it's a game. She playing. Watch what happened in verse 15.
Verse 15. Then Sarah denied, saying, I laugh not.
How would Sarah have denied? What had to happen there? Huh? Somebody get a mic and tell me, please, so I can hear y'all. I hear y'all mumbling stuff, but there is microphones.
Shalom, sir. She got confronted.
Right. Abraham went and he had a conversation with her. He didn't allow her to stay in that spirit. That's why in verse 19, I know him. He going to command his household. Said that confidently because in verse 15, when he told him, yo, Sarah going off, he went to her and said, yo, what's up with you? You don't believe in the Lord? And she denied it. Watch what it says. It says it more in that verse. Watch.
Then Sarah denied, saying, I laugh not, for she was afraid.
She was what?
She was afraid.
Because he laid down the law. He ain't come to homes no son. Baby, did you, can you please, I think you might have laughed when the Lord. No. Hey, was you laughing when the Lord said he was going to put a baby in you? What's wrong with you? She was like, hold up. I ain't laugh. I don't know what you talking about. I didn't laugh. She started lying because she understood she was going to get checked further if she said, yeah, I laughed. I didn't believe. She said nay, for she was afraid. It's documented there, so you know Abraham didn't play about having faith and following the Lord. When the Lord came to him, or a brother might have came to him in this case, and said, yo, your wife doing this or doing that, he checked it, he regulated. He didn't allow it to exist. That's the point I'm getting y'all to see. Go ahead.
And he said, nay, but thou didst laugh.
All right, that's it. All right, give me 2 Samuel chapter 10 and verse 6. Actually, for time, let's go ahead. So ultimately what it comes back to is you have to build your confidence, right? Joshua 1 and 8. Get a few scriptures and we'll wrap it up. Right? Here's some solutions. Ultimately, you have to build your confidence.
The book of Joshua, chapter 1 and verse 8.
The way you build your confidence, right, and you feel that that sense of manhood, it starts with this.
This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night.
You have to be in the Bible day and night. You got to find confidence in the scriptures. Why? Because you're reading, you're studying. And not only you reading and studying, you're going to start applying. Watch what it says.
That thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein.
Once you start doing what's written in the Bible, go ahead.
For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success.
Once you start to have that success, that brings confidence. But it starts with your application of the Bible. So if you're not reading, studying, and applying, right? Study, pray, and apply. If you're not practicing that behavior, you're going to lack confidence. You're going to be right in here, and your wife's going to be running all over you because you're not strengthened with the Bible. You don't have the mind to say, yo, this is what this scripture says, or this is what that scripture says, or I read this story, and I could glean from that. Or I'm going to pray on it, and the Lord's going to answer me. Or I know if I apply this in this situation, it's going to work. A soft answer turneth away wrath. Let me calm down. She tripping, I'm just going to calm down. Yo, I don't want to do that right now. And I'm going to stop. But you go back and forth because ain't no scripture in your head. Just your feelings. Men move based upon the Bible. Once you start moving based upon the Bible, you'll see. You'll have good success. Things will start to change around you. And then you'll get confidence. Right? Tobit chapter 4 and verse 4. Watch what Tobit told his son. Start at verse 5.
The book of Tobit, chapter 4 and verse 5. My son, be mindful of the Lord our God in all. My son, be mindful of the Lord our God all thy days, and let not thy will be set to sin, or to transgress his commandments.
Don't have your mind be set to break the laws of God. He said all the days of your life, be focused on applying the laws. Go ahead.
Do uprightly all thy life long, and follow not the ways of unrighteousness. For if thou deal truly, thy doing shall prosperously succeed to thee, and to all them that live justly.
See, he said, if you do the laws, you're going to succeed. Verse 18.
Verse 18. Ask counsel of all that are wise, and despise not any counsel that is profitable.
These are the things that he told his son in order to what? Have a better life. So these are the things we can apply. If we start asking counsel all the time, focusing on the law all the time, it'll build your confidence. You'll say, you know what? I am a man of God. I can't allow these things to be this way in my house. I can't allow these things to be this way in my job, in my career. Then you got to actually wake up and say, I'm a man. I'm a boy, Damon. You can say that. But when you ain't reading the scriptures, you grow weaker and weaker in the spirit because that woman is beating you down, that job is beating you down, all these different things are beating you down. And it's going to turn you into that little boy. Because little boys, they run and hide when problems come. Men stand up manfully, and they start to apply the laws and push through those problems, just like we read about with the ant. So these are ways you can build your confidence. Another thing, Sirach chapter 30 and verse 1. You have to be able to examine yourself. And for time, we're not going to go through the whole chapter because I wrote a whole bunch of scriptures down. But Sirach chapter 30, it's already like 9:05. Sirach chapter 30 and verse 1.
The book of Sirach chapter 30 and verse 1. He that loveth his son causeth him oft to feel the rod.
So Bishop, right, when he was going through this chapter, he explained that in this chapter you see how to create a man, right? How to build a man up. But what you can also see in here is how to fix broken men. So what I want you all to do is to look at Sirach chapter 30 as homework, right? And see what hasn't been done with you. Because that's where you figure out where you're broken. That's where you figure out where your issues are as a man. Because there's certain stuff in here that you are allowed to do that damage you. For an example, jump down and go to verse 3.
Verse 3. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy.
Some of y'all ain't get taught. Y'all ain't get taught nothing. You don't know how to be a man. You don't know nothing about finances. You don't know nothing about cars. You don't know nothing about plumbing, carpentry, nothing. You ain't been taught. How you gonna grieve the enemy? You don't know a damn thing. You gotta humble yourself. You're gonna have to be taught. When you humble yourself, you say, yo, I was never taught these things. I'm gonna need to be taught these things. I can't grieve the enemy or be an avenger for the Lord and I don't know nothing about nothing. Go ahead.
And before his friends he shall rejoice of him.
Jump down to verse 7.
Verse 7. He that maketh too much of his son shall bind up his wounds, and his bowels will be troubled at every cry.
Some of y'all, your parents made you the ish. In your house, you was everything. You was the baby boy, the golden child. So now you expect everybody to do the same thing with you. And when somebody doesn't, you get in your feelings. You got that mindset of, I'm above everybody. Because that's how you was raised up. These things start in childhood often. Verse 8, watch.
Verse 8. And horse not broken becometh headstrong, and a child left to himself will be willful.
Some of y'all are real bold and self-willed because as a child, nobody guided you. Nobody told you do this, then do that. Work on this. So you self-willed now. You a grown man. Somebody says, yo, you need to do this. You get mad. Why he corrected me? I'm used to doing stuff my own way. But when you was a child, you never got taught you're supposed to be guided. Now you're a grown man. You got to learn that lesson. So guess what? It's going to take humility for you to learn that. Because you think in your mind you got the right answer because nobody checked you as a child. These are all behaviors that we got in us. We broken men at the end of the day. What we're trying to raise up is better children. Move the children forward. Move the nation forward. But we can't do that unless we examine ourselves. Go ahead, officer.
Go ahead. Read 1 Corinthians 13 and 11.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 11. When I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child.
So when you was a child, before you came into this truth, right, all your behavior was childish. You wasn't keeping no law, statute, commandments, right? No matter how much church you may have attended or how much of a good heart you think that the Lord knows my heart. No, you was a child. And when you come into the truth, you're still a child. If you're in 2 years, you know the saying, you're 2 years old. If you're in 5 years, you're 5 years old and such. Read.
But when I became a man.
But when I started keeping these laws, statute, commandments, applying like we just read in Joshua 1 and 8, read.
I put away childish things.
I stopped the shenanigans and nonsense. I'm willing to accept responsibilities for my behavior. Accountability doesn't feel like an attack. Read.
For now we see through it.
No, that's it. So when you was a child, you thought as a child, but now you're a man, right? First Kings we read, go forth and show yourself to be a man, right? Put away some childish things, right? And move accordingly.
That's heavy. That's a perfect precept for what we read 1 Kings, right? Because you got to change. And that's what it's going to. If you can't examine yourself, you won't figure out what's wrong with you. Sirach 37, verse 27. Read a couple more. We're going to get up out of here, man. Sirach 37, 27.
The book of Sirach, chapter 37 and verse 27. My son, prove thy soul in thy life, and see what is evil for it, and give not that unto it.
So you have to examine yourself. That's all I'm saying. If you can look at what's good for you and what's bad for you, right, then the bad things for you, you won't give yourself that. You won't put yourself in those positions. But if you never examine yourself, you're going to constantly have these issues. Sirach 19 and 1 real quick. You may say some of the things we dealt with today, these are small issues, but they all are big issues because they affect us as a nation. All these little things that you think, hey, I'm going to ignore, these become big problems for a nation of people because it might be okay if one person's doing it, but imagine when 1 billion people are doing it. Read that.
The book of Sirach, chapter 19 and verse 1. A laboring man that is given to drunkenness shall not be rich.
The end part, go ahead.
And he that contemneth small things shall fall by little and little.
He that contemneth small things, meaning you hate small things, you're going to fall by little and little and little. These things are going to start to chip away at you. So you may say, yo, I just got an anger problem, but you're not dealing with it. It's going to slowly chip away at you. That's going to be the death of you. It's going to take some time, but that one thing you ignored and you didn't work on in yourself as a man is going to be the reason you end up out of here. So we all got to take heed to this and say, you know what, as a man, I'm going to examine myself and make sure that I'm good to go with the Lord, right? Sirach chapter 36 and verse 24 real quick. Let's get that. Just going to read this scripture, and we're going to go to close out. Read 3 scriptures, and we'll close out after that.
The book of Sirach, chapter 36 and verse 24.
Yep.
He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession.
He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, right? So we read that. After you set yourself in order, you get a wife now. She's a possession unto you, right? Go ahead.
A help like unto himself.
She is a help like you. Many times we tell you the reason your wife is like this is because you're like this. You don't examine your own issues. So therefore, your wife becomes a representation of you, and it frustrates you. But she's your possession to shape and to mold. If you can't examine what doesn't make you a man, you're never going to be able to show her what's not making her a woman. Because you acting like a woman, and she acting like a man sometimes. You got to correct these things and set things in order. That's why God said you were the leader of the house, to set everything in order. So when you get a possession, your job is to do what with it? Go ahead.
And a pillar of rest.
She's supposed to be a pillar of rest, but watch what the scriptures say.
Where no hedge is.
Where no hedge is. The hedge is the scriptures. When there's no hedge around your wife, when there's nothing, no law around her to tell her how to behave and how to act because you don't teach her, you don't guide her, go ahead.
There, the possession is spoiled.
Now you got that wife that when you come in, she snatched the phone from you. She yelling at you. She got the attitude. Everything all out of order because the hedge is not there. The line is not drawn in the sand to let her know we not doing that no more. Give me 1 Maccabees chapter 4, verse 35. Y'all men got to realize y'all are the gods on the earth. All right? Y'all are gods on the earth. So are you a man? Yeah, if you apply these laws of God, you a man. And when you rise up as a man, this is what the scriptures say you're going to be like. Go ahead.
The book of 1 Maccabees chapter 4 and verse 35. Now when Lysias saw his army put to flight, and the manliness of Judas's soldiers, and how they were ready either to live or die valiantly, he went into Antiochia and gathered together a company of strangers, and having made his army greater than it was.
Stop there. Verse 35 was the point. He saw the manliness of them. That's the point. He saw the manliness of them. When y'all rise up and y'all move in a certain way and your mindset is a certain way, your manliness is going to show forth. It's going to be clear what you are. Ain't nobody going to have to ask, are you an Israelite? How do you Israelites move? They're going to see it on you. Because you're going to have that level of confidence. You're going to have that level of boldness when you come through. Psalms 82 and verse 6.
The book of Psalm chapter 82 and verse 6.
Yep.
I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High.
You see what God said? You are gods. Y'all believe y'all gods? Oh, don't sound like it. Y'all believe y'all gods? All right. That's what the scriptures say. It say you are gods. Go ahead.
And all of you are children of the Most High.
That's what the scriptures say. You children of the Most High. Go ahead.
But ye shall die like men.
And in the end, we're going to live forever if we keep the laws of God. If we rise up as the man that Solomon was commanded to be, we're going to live forever. We're going to rule forever on earth. And that's what David was instructing his son. Give me Isaiah 61 and verse 9. And when we rule forever, it's not only going to be a benefit to you, it's going to be a benefit to your children and to your children's children and to your children's children's children. You rising up as a man is going to push the nation forward like never before. But it starts with us. Individually setting our households in order, individually showing each other what it means to be a man, and holding each other accountable to those laws, statutes, and commandments. Go ahead.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 61 and verse 9. And their seed shall be known among the Gentiles.
See what it says? It says, your children will be known amongst the Gentiles. Go ahead.
And their offspring among the people.
Your offspring will be known amongst the people. Why? Because your reputation will be so strong that your children, when they see them, they're going to be like, damn, that's such and such kids. That's the level of manhood you got to have. But when they see your kids, they go, yo, he relate to him. Go ahead.
And all that see them shall acknowledge them, that they are the seed which the Lord have blessed.
That's what's going to happen in these last days. When you rise up like a God, it's not just going to be for your benefit. It's for your children's benefit. It's for your children's benefit. You got to have that in your mind. You can't be selfish and say, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to keep having my household out of order. I'm going to keep being emotional. I like things the way they are. You hurting generations to come. But if you rise up like the man that the Bible say you are, then you're going to change lives forever. Y'all understand that? Give me Psalm chapter 94 verse 16. We'll see. We'll see. The scriptures say you gods. And you being a God is going to travel to generations to come. So 94 and 16, then we're going back to 1 Kings and we out of here.
The book of Psalms, chapter 94 and verse 16.
I said 4. This is 2. That was 2. This is 3. This next one is 4. Go ahead.
Who will rise up for me against the evildoers?
That's what the scriptures say. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers? You know who he was asking? He was asking the men if they're going to rise up. So that's the question to y'all. Are y'all going to rise up and be men? That's the question. That's what you got to ask. So am I a man? The men are going to rise up. Read it one more time.
Who will rise up for me against the evildoers?
Read.
Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?
Who's going to stand up against the sins that's on this earth? The men are. The men of Israel. The 144,000 are. The scriptures say the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations done on the earth. That's what the Lord looking for. He not looking for weak men. He not looking for men who let their wife run their house or let their emotions run them or let their feelings run them or don't work, don't have a career mind. That's not the men he looking for. He looking for men that's going to push this nation forward. So this is why David said this, 1 Kings 2:2, one more time.
The book of 1 Kings chapter 2 and verse 2. I go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong, therefore, and show thyself a man.
So that's the question to you. Am I a man? Because at the end of the day, the way you're going to prove it is by applying the law, statutes, and commandments. And you're going to be able to look at yourself and say, either I did what the Bible said or I'm not doing what the Bible says. But if you do what the Bible says, you know you're a man. And it not only impacts you, it impacts the rest of Israel. So with that, I'll wrap it up. Unless you got anything to add, officer. All right. Shalom. Most High and Christ bless.
Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you. It's nation time.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. His word